What do you think is going to happen over the next 3 to 4 weeks with Ethereum? Do you buy into the hype that it's going to go, up to $2,500, $3,000, like some people are saying? And then we can get into what that means.
The thing about the big caps like Ethereum is the narrative, it's kind of like Bitcoin, right? Like if you zoom out type thing, to me, it's got a very similar feel, which is the developers want to be there, the users, the investors want to be there. Despite cheaper, better, faster, other alternatives that have come along, nobody seems to want to deviate from their MetaMask, from Ethereum, from Solidity. And so it seems like there's that ground is where people want to stake their claim. And so does it matter to me what happens next month? Like, not so much, right? It's one of those things where you just keep riding the wave. And that's why also, you've probably noticed I focus a lot on the smaller caps because that to me is a little easier to predict on time analysis. Like, it's pretty hard to predict like when Ethereum's big move will be or Bitcoin's big move will be. You do believe that it could be, right? Like, it looks like Ethereum wants to go right now. It's been looking like Ethereum wants to go right now since really like early last year. And so that's great. And what I do is I just keep trying to maximize my exposure to Ethereum through trading alts and trading smaller coins and keeping those Ethereum bags as heavy as possible because it is really incredible what Ethereum is accomplishing, and just seeing the DeFi ecosystem flourish on Ethereum, seeing what's going on there. It's pretty hard to deny that DeFi is it's quickly pushing its way up towards $100 billion. And, you think about it, if DeFi makes it to a couple $100 billion, I mean, that's all on Ethereum. The proof of stake network has to be worth more than the assets on it. So you think about it, it has to keep pushing, it has to keep going. The Ethereum market cap, I think it doesn't make sense to stop anywhere soon.
Give us a little rundown of what's happening with NFTs. Are we going to get a second run on those the same way we'll talk about in a minute we think we'll get on DeFi?
I think that the NFT thing is in many ways a new and kind of different market. DeFi absolutely, and to a large degree, DeFi will pick up the slack whenever there's a boring period in the market. We saw that, right? We saw that DeFi now adds action and movement to a boring Bitcoin market, and that's a beautiful thing that I think really changes the concept of bear markets going forward. But moving over to NFTs, this is a brand new uncharted ocean of value, and this is something that I've been passionate about for years now. As we've been talking about our projects, and obviously I've been telling you about my games that I've been building for years now. And it's really exciting because you're just starting to see these speculative frenzies start to move into NFTs, and a lot of people have trouble with it because it's you don't just buy XYZ token and ride the whole NFT space. Maybe they'll figure out a way to do some kind of basket like that, but the reality is that it's much more individualized. It's much more personality and driven by your interests and driven by hobbies and real use cases and real communities. And so I think what you'll see is a lot of niche communities form. You'll see a lot of really interesting use cases form, and that there's no wrong answers with NFTs. It's all a big experimental situation where people are going to have a lot of right answers.
The DeFi run over the summer was really interesting, and you and I were right in the thick of it. I mean, we're talking to a lot of projects and helping people make a lot of gains, and then there were also projects on the backside of things that were not doing things on the up and up that got uncovered over time. Do you think we're going to see kind of the same thing with DeFi we saw over the summer? Do you think we're going to see like a ton of tiny little finance coins come in and try to scam everybody, or do you think this is going to be a different kind of more mature run for DeFi?
Yeah, so all of the above, right? I think what you'll see is, when a coin first launches, you get this huge hype cycle, right? And then it crashes. Mm-hmm. And then there's the boring phase. Yep. And most people say, this project's done. I turn my back. And that's exactly when the big brains invest and accumulate. And I think that's kind of what's happening with DeFi. That's my thesis, right? Is that DeFi is boring. DeFi is not pumping. DeFi is dead. And that's exactly what the really intelligent and really big investors want you to think. Yep. And what you want to keep your eyes on is the teams that never stopped, the teams that are pushing, updating, going, never stopping, bringing something different, something useful, even if it seems maybe a little bit insignificant, but as long as they're trying to add something novel and different. And so, there's been a few of those projects that for sure stood out. And I keep seeing new concepts coming into DeFi. And I think it's really easy to go, oh, this all looks and feels the same. It's all just a bunch of projects chasing the same goals. But if you really dig in and you find what's unique and what's different, I think that's the challenge. And I think there's going to be a lot of winners.